Hey, it's Audra. Do you believe that women can have real friendships? I mean, true, genuine friendships? Or are you a victim with a scarred heart to prove otherwise? Well, tonight we'll be discussing some issues around friendships, and most importantly, your friendships, that hopefully will shed some light on this issue. And I hope by the end, it will give you some hope to help you thrive. So I'm going to give Facebook a few minutes to notify folks that I'm broadcasting. But as you join the broadcast, please let me know that you're here. Say hello and where you're from. And whether I catch it live or later, I will circle back around and say hello and give you a shout out. Because I appreciate you being here, because you could be anywhere right now, but you're here with me. So it's pretty cool. Hey, Patrice, thank you for joining, honey. So tonight's broadcast was really important to me because unfortunately there are so many women walking around hurt and disappointed from relationships and friendships that they've had since childhood or that they thought were gonna be around forever, and they're not. You know, as a result, these women are walking around with hardened hearts and a lot of distrust going on. So I wanted to bring this issue to the forefront and have a really candid conversation with you about your friends. Because I think it's time that we stop tiptoeing around this issue. Because too many folks are walking around, oh, women can't be trusted. Oh, I don't have female friends. Oh, I don't get along with women like that. And I'm finding that this conversation is happening more and more often, but no one is talking about why. And I believe if we dispel some of the myths that we have about friendships, we can get back to having real friendships and real communication with other women in a successful way. So I'm excited about this conversation tonight. So as you join in, go ahead and share this broadcast out with others, because we all know women in this situation, don't we? I mean, this might even be you or me, right? So let's share this broadcast out and let's share the healing, because I believe tonight some healing can happen. Don't you? So I want to go ahead and jump in because I want to only be before you about 20 minutes or so, and I want this to be an interactive dialogue, okay? Not just me talking to you. I want to get your feedback as we take this journey together. And I'm going to share with you 5 myths about your friends. And the first one is that women can't be friends. How many of you have heard that? Women can't be friends with each other. Women can't be real with each other. And matter of fact, before I dive into that, let me give you some background on why this is so important to me. And hopefully that's okay with you. You know, a few years ago, I was driving home after a really rough weekend, and I had an epiphany. As I was driving home, it occurred to me that if I got in an accident right now, like, who would care? And not to say that no one cared about me, but I had isolated myself so much from those that loved me. The reality hit that if I was driving down this highway, down this lonely road by myself, and something happened, it would be a while before anybody recognized, because I didn't have like daily communications with anyone at that time. And while I wore that as like a badge of honor, you know, because I didn't need anybody and I had it all together, I realized that day how wrong I was. Hey, Sabrina, thank you for joining, honey. And from that day, I made a commitment to myself to be a better person. And a part of that was learning how to cultivate real relationships. And through that process, it made me evaluate what relationships truly mean. And I'm not talking about just intimate relationships. I'm talking about relationships with women, real friendships. What does that mean? Because at that time, I really didn't know. And that ignorance, that not knowing, caused me to make a lot of poor decisions. And to be honest, I wasn't really a good friend. So I took some time to discover myself and discover how I could be a better friend and what friendships truly meant. And so tonight I want to share with you some myths about your friends, and hopefully through uncovering some of these myths, it'll help you have better engagement and interaction with those you consider your friend. Okay? Hey Lexi, thank you for joining, honey. And Sabrina and Lexi, also Patrice, if you can share this broadcast out, that'll be great. Because I believe this broadcast is going to be life-changing. So let's go ahead and dive in. So, the first of the 5, and I'm going to go through this pretty quick. So I hope you got a pen and piece of paper. The first one is, women can't be good friends. Women can't be real friends. That's the first myth. It's a myth. It's not true. Here's the thing, ladies. You get what you give. If you start a friendship with the idea that I can't trust her, then no, you won't be able to trust her. It's just like even in a marriage, right? If you start your marriage already planning your exit strategy, you will have to use that exit strategy. It's the same thing with your friendships. Hey, Angela, thank you also for joining. If you enter your friendship with the idea that this woman won't be trustworthy or this woman won't be a woman of her word, then that's exactly what you're going to get. And if you find that every time you embark on a new friendship, you always getting your feelings hurt, you are always disappointed, you may want to look at changing your circle. Where are you meeting these people that you're engaging with? Change your circle. Try something different, because obviously your pool and where you're reaching from is a little contaminated. Okay? So you may want to change your circle and broaden your options of how you make friendships instead of just putting a label on every woman that you meet. Because if you're a good person, which I believe you are, God made more than just one. Also, so that was the first myth, that women can't be friends. Women can't be good friends. The second myth about your friends is that, oh, a real friend will always be there and always have my back. You know, one of the things I found when I was evaluating this whole thing about friendship is that, ladies, while we may grow up when it comes to our dating, we may grow up where it comes to how we communicate with our mothers and we understand the changes and dynamics in that relationship, when it comes to our girlfriends, a lot of us don't grow up. Somebody put in the comments, we don't grow up. And we take, unfortunately, our childhood and our schoolyard mentality into our adult friendships and have some really, really unhealthy expectations of the women that we interact with. Somebody say it ain't fair, y'all. It is not fair. Yes, your friends will be there for you, but no one will be there for you 24/7. It's just not realistic. Your friends have spouses, they have kids, and they have jobs. Somebody say they gotta eat. Put in the comments they gotta eat. So no, they cannot be there for you all the time. But it does not mean they're not your real friend. So can we dispel that myth that a real friend has to be there for you all the time and always have your back? Because here's the thing. Sometimes your real friends are going to come up against you because you're wrong. Because a real friend is going to give you the truth, whether you like it or not. That's what a real friend will do. And it may not always feel good. And in fact, most times it won't feel good. But when you step back and you think about how much that friend loved you enough to risk the friendship to be honest with you, that should make you feel good. That woman loved you enough to give it to you real. Somebody put in the comments, straight no chaser. That's what a real friend will do. So that myth, a real friend will always be there and always have your back, that's a myth. It's not fair. Another myth. Real friends share everything. Whew. Okay, y'all. I actually had someone find out that their friend was sick. And they couldn't be there for their friend because they couldn't get off the fact of, I can't believe she was going through that and she didn't tell me. Really? Really? Ladies. We can't do that to our friends. Sometimes they don't even know how to deal with the situation, much less verbalize it. Imagine getting the most horrifying news of your life. Sometimes the words just won't come out. It's not that that friend doesn't value you. It's not that you're not important to them. Take a listen. Because it's not even about you. It's about them and what they're going through. It's nothing to do with you. It's nothing to do with you. So just because they don't share every single thing with you doesn't mean they're not a good friend, and doesn't mean that they don't love you, and it doesn't mean that they don't value you. They could just be going through something. Maybe they don't know how to articulate it. And aren't they entitled to have that? You know, and this is a bonus. The only one who should know everything about you is the man upstairs. You don't got to tell everything to everybody, and neither does your friend. The fourth myth is that a real friend won't disappoint you. You know, some of you ladies, I'm going to tell you, you have some of the most unrealistic expectations of your friends. I know I would never measure up. We allow grace when it comes to our children. We don't expect perfection from our kids, right? We don't expect perfection from our husbands, right? We don't expect perfection from our boyfriends. But let your friend hurt you one time. One time. And what do? You cut her right off. I can't believe she did that. Come on, y'all. Some of y'all have been friends with folks for 20 years. 20 years. And they do one thing to hurt you. And you cut them right off. You allow it to negate all the good they've ever done for you. Newsflash. They are human. Yes, a real friend will disappoint you because they are human. You know, that was a lesson I had to learn the hard way. I let go of a very, very good friend for a really, really stupid reason. I'm talking about myself, and yes, it was a really... I'm ashamed of myself for my own reason. I'm just ashamed of it. And when the reality hit me, how silly it was, I apologized to her. And I hurt this woman so bad that it took her years, though she forgave me, it took her years before we could really sit down and talk about it. And I gave her space. And let me tell you, honey, I have that woman back in my life today. I ain't never letting her go. I value her so much and understand what a good friend she was. And the sad part about it is once we sat down and were able to talk about it, it was such a misunderstanding. She was going through her own situation that I had no idea about. And I made this rash decision, and we lost 7 years. And while we were able to, get back together and she accepted my apology, some of y'all may not have that opportunity. You may let a good friend go that you may never have the chance to reconcile. Come on, y'all, share this broadcast out. Let's heal. Let's share this healing. Because folks want to thrive, but you can't thrive when you're broken and you're not healed. And the fifth myth about your friends, and I've heard this more times, ladies, than I can count, is that, I only need one friend. I got that one BFF. Somebody put one BFF in the comments. I got that one friend. Let me tell you something. That one friend that you dumping everything on, you are putting way too much pressure on that one person. That one person cannot be your everything. They can't be. You know, think about it. Jesus, in all his perfection, came here and had 12 guys. 12 and 2 more. 10 plus 2. He had 12 guys he rode with. He rode 12 deep, y'all. And each one of the disciples brought something different to the table, right? Each one he had a different relationship with. It's the same with us, ladies. We are trying to pour everything into this one person, and we have so much we expect from this one person. No wonder our view of friendship with women is so jaded, because we're approaching it all wrong. That one person cannot fill every area in your life. It's okay to have a friend that you pray with, right? And have a different friend that you meet for lunch at work, that you have in the office, right? And it's okay to have a friend that you go shopping with. It's a friend that you can go sit down at the bar and have a glass of wine with. It don't all have to be the same person. Hello, somebody. It does not have to be the same person. We are putting so much pressure on women in friendships and these unrealistic expectations. And then we wonder why we're disappointed. Yes, women can be friends. Your friends may not always have your back and may not always tell you what you want to hear. They may not share everything with you. And yes, they will disappoint you. And it is great to have more than one. When you can embrace this new way of thinking, it will open up the door not only for you to have stronger friendships, it will open the door for you to become a better friend. Because see, that's the flip side of this discussion. Is a lot of times, ladies, you know, we grow up and we're taught how to be good mothers, right? We're taught how to be good wives. But a lot of us were never taught how to be a good friend. And because of that, we have unrealistic expectations of our own friends. So let's change our way of seeing our friendships and see what happens. See how it blossoms. See how the healing begins. Now you're saying, okay, Audra, you're saying I got to do all this. I got to change my circle. Where do I meet these women? Because the women I'm meeting, they're a different breed. And I understand that. I understand that may be a problem for a lot of you. So I want to invite you to a place where you can meet women in a safe environment that are growing and thriving and doing their best to live a better life. If that sounds interesting to you, join me in my online community called Freedom to Thrive. I just love that name. Join us in Freedom to Thrive. Freedom to Thrive is an online community, like I just mentioned, of women, women only. Somebody put women only. It's a safe place for women to grow and thrive. And that same happiness and that same success that you have at your job, we encourage you to have that in your profession, in your personal life. Now, I want to invite you to join us at, Patrice, you are on it, www.thrivefree.me. You'll see Patrice has put that in the comments, and also above, you'll see the link. There you can join our challenge, which is our Free to Thrive challenge. And I want to encourage you to take the challenge because it will also help with the mindset, right? Because you got to change the mindset first. Before the friendship can evolve, the mindset has to change. I'll say it again. Before your friendships can evolve, your mindset has to first change. So I want to encourage you to take the Free to Thrive challenge, which will include a 31-day journal that's completely free for you to use. And then each day you receive an email video from me, and you'll have a little challenge that you have to do. But it'll only take about 20 minutes, so you got that. And then you'll watch the transformation happen. And you can experiment on having real friendships with real women in a community where things will be safe for you. And then who knows, maybe you can test it out in the real world once you've navigated that process in Freedom to Thrive. So join us at www.thrivefree.me. Take the challenge into the community and take action. Take action. And watch how your friendships evolve and how you can become a better person and thrive. I am Audra Upchurch, dispelling the myth that women can't have real friendships because we are better together. If you would like to keep in touch with me, you can feel free to do that across all social media outlets at Authentic Audra. I look forward to hearing from you and hanging out with you in Freedom to Thrive. I'll catch you around, ladies. Take care and know that women can have real relationships. Let's thrive. Bye.